Serenity with Dr. Reverend Pamela June Banks Anderson. We are taping on location, immigration, and interfaith issue. We thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that our primary mission here at Serenity, or the program Serenity, is to share with you information and inspiration. If we are to have peace on earth and goodwill toward all, then we must first have peace and goodwill within. Please join me in reciting the prayer for which this show is named. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We are continuing with a series of conversations from the panelists that you see here at the table, and in this fourth segment of the show, we will be hearing from our dear friend Max Anguano from Cristo Rey Parish, Action of Greater Lansing, Civil Rights for Immigrants Task Force, and a very experienced advocate. And our time together will be wrapped up, so to speak, by our special guest from Washington, D.C., the United Church of Christ Justice and Witness Advocate, Reverend Mari Castello. Is that close? I was trying to make it sound close. We are on location here at St. Stephen's Community Church, United Church of Christ, in Lansing, Michigan. So it is all on you. Please reintroduce yourself and tell us why you are interested in this particular subject, and include in your introductions why this is important to mid-Michigan. And let me just park here parenthetically and say, we have not been wearing the same clothes for 6 weeks. It just takes us 6 weeks to show the entire taping 1 week at a time. Okay.
Thank you, Reverend. My name is Maximo Anguano, or Max, whatever you want to call me. Like I said, we got involved with this issue about 6 years ago. I got elected to a position at Cristo Rey Church, coordinator of the Civil Rights for Immigrants Task Force, and right away there was all kinds of people coming to us. I mean, because we have. We have 600 families at our church. I would take a guess and say probably half of them are, okay, 1/3 of them probably undocumented at our church. You know, a very big percentage of them. And how we got involved was they were being deported. Our immigrants were being picked up all the time, every week, 2-3 days a week. It would be a call saying that they would be calling us, and they would be saying, hey, so they had no idea what to do, because they had no idea. They didn't speak. A lot of them didn't speak English, and so we jumped right in. We just back then when they first came to us, they would call me to the church. We went to the church. And then we would go to the place where they were incarcerated at, and they would let me talk to them. I told them, I said, I'm from the church. I said, we're just here to help these people. And they would let me in a lot of times. I'd say out of 20 times I went to the incarceration centers, probably 2 or 3 times they wouldn't let me in. So we've been to Ingham County. I've been to Battle Creek Detention Center. I've been to Monroe County. I've been to Detroit. Just over there, just deliver messages, delivering money, delivering on a letter. That's the only thing they'll let you take. They won't let you give them clothes or food or anything, but they'll let you give them that stuff. So that's how we got started, and then from there we started having to do all kinds of stuff at our church, because these people, I got to know these people. They go to my church, and they're God-fearing, hard-working people. And they're good people. I mean, and I had, it just didn't make any sense to me that these people are being, torn apart from their families, and they're being imprisoned or incarcerated, and then they'd be shipped back to Mexico. So we started, so we got in the personal side at first, and then we started having civil rights, know your rights, and then we started getting involved. Of course, we all know immigration used to be a federal issue, but it got to be a state issue with the states getting involved with it. So we were involved in the federal issue for a long time. We've been to Washington, we've been to Chicago, we've been to Detroit. In 2010, like I said, we were part of the 400,000 that was at the National Mall in Washington in March of 2010, and 2 times in 2010 we went to Kalamazoo. The president was there for a commencement exercise. We had a march there. It was about maybe 1,000 of us, there. And then we went to Ann Arbor. Our president was there for another commencement exercise. So we were there, and there was about 5,000 of us there. So we did everything from the national to the state issue to be involved with the immigrants personally, what has happened recently, like I said, we've been doing everything. When there used to be some state anti-immigration laws, we'd all go to the Capitol. Some of the people here that are at this function here, we would go to the state capitol. We would get to say a couple words, and maybe, not all the time. If you put a impressive enough title on your paper, they would let you say something. So we had to lie once in a while, So we'd go to the state, but it's been good lately. There hasn't been hardly any. There was a little bit at one time. The Agema from Granville was trying to start some anti-immigration laws here in Michigan, but it kind of the committees you would go to, we kind of shut them down. So they didn't, it wasn't really a problem. So it's been pretty good here in Michigan, actually. But the latest thing we were involved in, as Diego said at the end there's the DACA program, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Our main function was to go there. Actually, we get most of our main actions is from air. They say they're doing this, and they want us. Of course, we're the Capitol. We're right here. Our task force, and we say, oh yeah, we want to be involved. Count us in. What do we got to do? So we had I had 300 of those action postcards to hand to whoever we could, a representative of the state. So okay, what it was, a Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. We had this rally. There was at least 200 people there, maybe 300. And what had happened was all these dream students were talking, and they were, they have, as we know, as I think, and many I think people here think the same way. These students, they have, this is the only country they know. They know nothing else, and some of them don't even speak Spanish. So so to deport these students, it's basically a tragedy. But finally, the DACA program came into effect. But then as we know, the Secretary of State, as Diego was saying, doesn't want to let these DACA approved applicants receive driver's licenses. And so we had this big rally for that, and a little bit of issues that were going on in Detroit too. The ICE agents going close to the schools and trying to pick up undocumented immigrants. But back to the DACA issue, so we had this big rally, and it was good. And then after we got done having the rally, we went into the Capitol, walked around and doing our chants. What is democracy? This is democracy, and some other chants, And then we finally went over to the governor's office, The governor wasn't there, but I was one of the representatives that got to stay inside. Because I had a bunch of postcards from Lansing, and so there was about seven DACA students, all young people, I was the only old person there, you know, that got to go in because I had these postcards to hand to the governor, you know, and so we got to talk to the chief of staff over there. I can't remember his name right now, but we were explaining everything to him. I mean, he very, very cooperative, listened to us, and we were just saying we want to work with the state of Michigan, with the governor, with the Secretary of State to make Michigan a better state. We know the governor is talking about rebuilding this state, and we're all saying, okay, definitely, that's why we are here. How can we rebuild the state if these students cannot have driver's licenses? I mean, here we want these students to go to school here. We give it, okay, the DACA program gives them permission to go to school here, you know? And so, but Michigan and Arizona are the only two states that are not allowing these DACA-approved applicants to receive driver's licenses. So, so we're telling them, this doesn't make any sense, Chief of Staff, that, you know, the governor wants to rebuild Michigan, you know, but these students, you know, if they cannot have driver's licenses, why would they go to school here? And then after they receive their education, why would they stay here if they cannot receive a driver's license? It just doesn't make any sense. Look at all the money this, I mean, besides the humane issue, look at all the money this state can make through driver's license fees, insurance, any car-related items, you know. And so we're trying to help Michigan, and so the Secretary of State is saying her hands are tied, and wait a minute, your hands are tied. You know, it doesn't make any sense to us at all, because you know, basically these students are here on they're going to have a social security number. They say you cannot get a license without a social security number. Number one, okay? Okay, and then what was my other point there? but you know, but we all want to help, you know, these, you know, the humane issue, but economically, this will help Michigan, you know. So we were, what it ended up happening is we were telling the chief of staff all this stuff, you know, and we are going to have a meeting real quick coming up. I have to check my email today. I haven't had a chance to check it, but from today through the rest of the week, they're going to email all those people that were meeting with the chief of staff, telling us when we can have a meeting with the head people in charge of this issue. You know, I don't think the Secretary of State is going to be honest with you. You know, we're trying to, you know, we're trying to approach this as an economical issue, because it is important for Michigan. You know, university-wise, car-wise, all that stuff. You know, so we're going to have we ended up we are going to have a meeting with them, with the head people involved in this issue, to try to solve this problem, because we're telling them we are not here demanding, shouting, or this and that. We are here peacefully to try to make Michigan a better place for everybody. And it just makes sense to us. This would give the state all kinds of money, and in any other way you want to look at it. It's good for the state, and it's a humane issue too, you know. And hopefully as Diego said earlier, that Speaker of the House, John Boehner, he's saying that maybe comprehensive immigration reform, we should talk about it with the President of the United States. It sounds good, you know. So we think we know the reason is because they want votes, but we don't care whatever the reason is. You know, if they can come out to a good, humane answer to this problem, we're all for it. Any way it can be established. Okay.
Pastor Tom, it occurred to me while he was speaking to ask the question, are all of us, let's see, are all of us quote unquote kind of members of the Justice Witness team that you have organized, tonight? And where am I going with this question? Is it, when any of us are speaking to officials, do we speak with the authority of all of us behind us? That's really where I'm going with the question.
We have several groups represented, and one of the nice things about this was we can learn about what the other groups are, get in contact, get on people's email lists so that we can facilitate knowing what we can do to make some systemic changes for the better. So if you're getting like an email from the Alliance for Immigrant Rights and they're doing something, you'll know about it, and then you can take it back to your local congregation and get more people to show up and let our elected leaders know that this is important and we're doing it as a faith community from various faith communities. So there's lots of different groups that you can meet with today, but there's not one that includes absolutely everybody that I know.
And can we kind of agree that we will keep each other informed and
Yes.
also keep Reverend Mari informed, because what she's doing in Washington, D.C., and how we can be of help to her, let her know when we're coming to the city, and that type of thing.
Yes, sounds great.
That would be awesome. Are there other questions? Other questions? Oh, don't be shy. Okay. We can get a mic to her, Brother Prince.
I think it's-
Okay. Thank you.
So Max, I was wondering if you could update us on the getting identification for undocumented people here in Ingham County.
Can you say that again, Ann, please?
How the efforts that you've made, if you could update us, the efforts you've made as part of Civil Rights for Immigrants to help people here get proper identification so that if they're stopped, they won't be
Right.
imprisoned.
We would, both police, Ingham County Sheriff's Department and Lansing Police Department have told us, we was with, because our immigrants are coming to us, they're scared to death of being stopped by the police officers, regular police. So we didn't know what their procedure was when they stop somebody that appears to be undocumented. They don't speak English real well. So we went to them on a series of meetings. We went to both agencies about 3 times, and they had told us, over that time that they're not interested in anybody's immigration status. And in fact, at our Nehemiah here, it was October 16th, I think it was. We had them come up there and swear in front of about 200 people, saying that that they are not interested in anybody's immigration status. They treat somebody just like they treat these people just like they would anybody else. When they're stopped, when they are stopped, they ask them for a license, insurance, and registration. When most of them are still driving on a expired driver's license. So when they stop them, they show them an expired driver's license, and then they say, okay, your license is expired, so you have to appear in court this day. Then they check out who they are, because they might be a criminal. If it's a criminal, they will take them to jail. But if they haven't got a warrant for their arrest, they will just issue them a ticket and call them and say, somebody else with the license in the car can drive home. If you're not in court this day, it will be a warrant for your arrest. So okay, so we went to them and we worked with them in establishing the Particular Consular as a credible ID, and that is a citizen of Mexico ID is what it is. So they will both accept the Particular Consular and an expired driver's license as a credible ID. So if they see who they are, they check their background, they check who they are, they won't take them to jail. you know, and then once they go to jail, I've been to court with them before, they don't ask them, their immigration status. I've been to St. John's, I've been to, Ingham County, here in the city of Lansing. All they do is tell them, okay, here's your fine, don't drive. They don't ask them why you driving on an expired driver's license. They say, here's your fine, don't drive. You know, you can pay in payments if you have to, you know, this and that. So we've had some progress there on that bit too.
Other questions?
I'd just like to add,
Pass her the mic, please.
I'm Ann Francis, and I'm part of the Ingham Immigration Coalition, and we work very closely with the Civil Rights for Immigrants group. And I have to say that it has been a wonderful collaboration. And the Civil Rights for Immigrant group meets the last Tuesday of the month. And for people who want to have some direct contact with and support and understand the issues, that is a very, very good thing to support and be part of. And thank you, Max, for all that you've done for this community.
And we want to thank your group, Ingham Immigration Coalition, and Tom's and whoever else here, because you have helped us out a lot. Because you know, it's good to get other people involved besides just Latinos. You know, because our group is basically Latinos. You know, but there are some white people. Excuse me, and I don't know the correct term to use. White people. Okay, I'll say that. You know, and so. But there are some. But having you guys there has been great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Quick, pass the mic to her, please. Your name?
Barb Tipo, from the Immigration Coalition also. Quick question, Max. With those postcards, many of us have been distributing them and have them on our social action tables at church and all. There are some in the back here, if you have not signed a postcard to Secretary of State Ruth Johnson. And I also wondered when you need them to present, or is it an ongoing effort?
Well, no. The next meeting we're going to have, I want to present some more postcards. Excuse me. So whenever we can get them, I'll take them, because I just got some more, and we're going to have a meeting with the heads of this issue, and I want to present them with whatever I got. Thank you, Barb.
You certainly would like to have a stack of them here to pass out to the congregation on Sunday, if that would be all right.
Yeah.
We would love to do that. And we are signing these cards, which read, could you run back and get one so that we can get, Brother Prince can get it on film, and so that we'll know what we're signing and why. And again, we want to give out the telephone number of the organizer of this awesome opportunity, Pastor Tom Jones. If you have any questions, if you would like to have a stack of these cards to pass out to your congregants, please give Reverend Tom Jones, our Justice and Witness Advocate, a call. His telephone number is area code 517-231-3304. We want to be as supportive as we can be. We have so far been discussing a lot of things regarding immigration, the issue of people dying either because of the cold or because of the extreme heat in the Arizona deserts. We have talked about the economic impact of addressing our immigrants in terms of driver's license and anything that has to do with automobile insurance and how that can have an awesome impact. We've talked about the morality issue, that this is a moral issue, and that's what makes it applicable to faith institutions across the board, no pun intended, that this really is a moral issue. And very shortly, at the beginning of our next segment, our last segment for this time, we will be hearing a theological perspective in terms of our involvement in immigration, a faith and interfaith issue. Thank you for joining us this day. We look forward to visiting with you again and hope you will include in your daily prayers, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Until next time, serenity.